Hello everyone, Storm One here. Today we'll be talking about the potential for strong and severe storms tomorrow, especially across areas south of I-64. And we're also going to be talking about potential for a cutoff low early next week and even a look into mid to late May as well. See how things are looking towards the medium range. So we're going to first off take a look into the watch warning advisory display across the country. It's actually pretty quiet out there. You got a couple of frost advisories across parts of Wisconsin and Michigan. And you also got, looks like scattered to numerous river flood warnings across parts of the deep south and the southern plains, where some areas have picked up a tremendous amount of rain over the last couple weeks. Some areas have picked up double-digit rainfall amounts over the last couple weeks. So those areas have been picking up a lot of rain, and fortunately there's going to be a little bit more rain on the way for some of those areas out there. But for us in Kentucky, looks like we may not get our visible satellite here today. Looks like refreshing it fixed it. Meanwhile, in Kentucky, visible satellite. In terms of the rain, we did have some light showers that went across western and even sections of southern Kentucky out there. But across parts of the Bluegrass and northern Kentucky, it's been mostly dry. We even had peaks of sunshine out there, so it's been a little bit milder out there. And this is the maximum temperatures for today, so this is basically your high temperatures. Generally in the low to mid 70s across most of the state, but across southern Kentucky, where it's been raining at certain parts of the day, it's been cooler, upper 60s for quite a few areas down south. Here's the storm prediction area outlook for today. Got two marginal risk areas. You got one across parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas, and then another one across parts of Georgia and Florida. Day 2, which is tomorrow, got two slight risk areas. There is one down along the Mexican border of Texas. And then we also have a slight risk across parts of the southern Appalachian Mountains. And it also includes parts of southeastern Kentucky. And here's a closer view of that. That slight risk does include places like Somerset, Monticello, Middlesboro, Harlan, Barberville, London, and Corbin. And also Williamsburg as well. And the marginal risk generally covers areas south of I-64 out there. And I do agree with this outlook pretty well. The main hazards for tomorrow is looking to be strong winds and some small and even some large hail could be involved as well. So let's check out the HRRR model here. And as we do go through the rest of the evening, we should say mostly dry. But as we do get into tonight, we're going to have some showers that probably develops across southern and probably western Kentucky as well. And that'll probably go through during the morning hours tomorrow. And this is part of an upper level low. Now, it's not going to be the upper level low we had earlier this week, where it just stuck around Kentucky for several days. This time, this one here is just going to kind of scoot across the state here. It's not going to last here very long. Should be out of here by Friday. But as that upper low moves into Kentucky, we're going to start to see more showers and thunderstorms develop, especially towards Thursday afternoon. And that's when we start to see the potential for strong into severe storms. You can already start to see the potential for strong severe storms trying to fire up across parts of south central Kentucky, and those would be moving eastward. And it's very possible that some of these thunderstorms may turn into a little cluster, bringing the potential for some strong, maybe locally damaging wind gusts. But also that potential for large hail as well, especially if they stay kind of by themselves and not be clustered up. But as you get into Thursday evening or Thursday night, most of the activity should have dissipated. And as you get into Friday, there's not really a lot going on out there. There may be a shower chance down towards the Tennessee border where we have that cold front kind of hanging around down there. But the main reason why we have the slight risk area is because there's going to be some wind energy to work with. Primarily in the upper levels. We won't have much wind energy in the lower levels. Wind shears can be weaker, but in the upper levels, yes, we will. As we go into early Thursday afternoon, we got a bit of a jet streak that's going on across western Tennessee, even back down towards northern Mississippi and northwestern Alabama. That's anywhere from 40 to 50 knots. And any thunderstorm that taps into that jet streak has a pretty decent chance of becoming strong severe, because we will have a pretty decent amount of instability to work with. Now, that jet streak may trend weaker as you get towards Thursday evening, but it will still be supportive for at least some organized severe storms out there. And I was talking about for instability, this is like your instability numbers, and you can see here the highest numbers are across mainly south of I-64 and even south of the Mountain Parkway, where we can see anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram. I can rule out some surface-based instability values getting up towards 2,500 in some areas out there. So we will have plenty of instability to work with. And if I can get a forecast sounding, let's get a forecast sounding, let's say in London, and check out, see what's going on here. So, like I was talking about earlier, low-level shears could be very weak. You can see here your numbers there, your SRH or storm rate to Felicity numbers are generally below 100. Of course, there's that one number that says 109, but that's still pretty low. Ideally, you want SRH values to be north of 150. In terms of shear in knots, right in here, numbers are also pretty low. Ideally, you want knots greater than 25 miles an hour. Shear greater than 25 knots. However, if you go a little bit farther up in the atmosphere, down to here, now you start to get in those higher numbers. You got numbers like 32, 34, even up as high as 65 knots. Of course, that's up towards kind of the top of the thunderstorm, but still, you do have some wind energy or some wind shear in the upper levels. And with an environment like this, this can lead to large hail producers. Weak low shear with stronger upper level shear can help create stronger updrafts within some thunderstorms, and that could lead to a large hail risk. Another thing that helps the large hail risk is all this dry air that we have out here. We got a little bit of dry air from the surface all the way up in the atmosphere, but you can see a little bit more of a stout elevated mix layer between 700 and 300 millibars. That can also help enhance that large hail risk too. Even a hodograph would support that as well. So overall, based off of this sounding, was it favorable? Strong to maybe locally damaged wind gust and large hail. And there could be some pretty decent sized hailstones, especially if those storms can tap into that jet streak like I was talking about earlier. If they don't, then they'd probably be more pulse in nature, which means the thunderstorms blow up, they could be strong severe, but they can collapse on themselves just near as quick as they fired up. So those are pulse-like thunderstorms, and even those can be on the strong to maybe locally severe side as well. Not much of a tornado risk. When we're talking about tornado risk here, you can see the winds of the surface are very light and variable, just about. So you don't really have much wind energy in the lower levels. Plus, if we do have winds, they'd be going at the same direction. And you know what? Some of those storms will be going the same direction as these winds in the upper levels. So there really isn't a tornado risk with this. So I'm not concerned about tornadoes in this setup here. But either way, still supported for some severe weather out there. And here's my table here, my threat table. And you can see here the main threats is going to be strong to damage winds and large hail. Winds that could be up to 60 miles an hour, and this is maximum potential, by the way. So there is potential for winds that could be close to 60 miles an hour. That would be marginally severe winds. Golf ball size hail. I think it's possible, especially if the storms tap into that jet streak. I think there is that outside chance for some golf ball size hail. Even if the hailstones don't get up to golf balls, there will still be some pretty decent sized hail out there. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a few severe hail reports. Hail that could be quarters or even $half sized out there, at least. No tornado risk. Flooding, I think it's going to be more localized. It really depends on if storms train over some of the same areas. And that may be for storms that may develop along the cold front. And with the winds going more west to east, with the cold front kind of going southeast, there is that possibility for some storms to train over some of the same areas. And these storms will produce quite a bit of rain in a short amount of time. So if storms do train over to some of the same areas, there could be a localized flooding risk, but it's not going to be a big deal. Anyway, but after our system passes by tomorrow night, it sets up for a pretty nice Friday. And Friday looks to be mostly dry. There could be some isolated showers along the Tennessee border, but overall most of the state should stay dry. And it's also going to be a little bit cool. Temperatures that could generally be in the mid to upper 60s, could be some low 70s down towards the south. And as we get into Saturday, everybody should stay dry for your Saturday. And our next system to watch is actually down towards the Gulf Coast. You see all those showers and thunderstorms ongoing down in the Gulf and really across the southeastern states. Getting some of those showers and thunderstorms. And that upper level low is actually going to be moving due north. Sunday should be a mostly dry day too. It will be warmer. Temperatures will be in the 70s for most of us. But you can see here that upper level low arrives to Kentucky by Monday, and that will likely lead to scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. This won't really support much of a severe weather risk for us, but you can now roll out a rogue strong storm out there that may produce some locally strong wind gusts. Even for Tuesday as well, could have the potential for some showers and thunderstorms. And then again, could be a couple of rogue strong storms out there. And eventually the system should be about out of here by Wednesday. Or it's possible it could stick around into Wednesday. Or I should say next Wednesday. But more than likely that system should be out of here by next Thursday. Now, could it change? Yes, it can. Historically, models don't do a very good job with upper level lows. You kind of see what happened with the last system. The models did not handle it very well. Now, the European model handled the best with the last upper level low. And that's why I'm showing you guys the European model for this next upper level low, because I got a little bit more confidence with it. The American model didn't really do as much of a good job. It was playing catch up for most of the time. But what about looking towards the rest of the month here? Well, in the short term, we'll be kind of dealing with these upper level lows here. So you're going to have some of these upper level lows that may stick around across the southeast. We'll have a ridge that's going to be off to our north that will likely lead to above normal temperatures across the Great Lakes, the northeast, even back towards the central and northern plains. And we actually start to see some troughing in the western U.S. And usually with this indication, it's a favorable pattern for severe weather somewhere in the country, and in this time, it will be across Tornado Alley, across central, really across the plains. May have potential to see severe weather during this time period, but as that ridge off to our north kind of weakens a little bit, the pattern kind of turns a little more zonal. And I think as we get towards late May and maybe even to early June, I think that's when we may see some more severe weather chances returning to the Ohio Valley. It could change, but for right now, that seems to be the time frame where we may not only see some severe weather chances, but also probably more storm or better rain chances in there. We may get a decent amount of rain too, which the European ensembles here doesn't go that far out. Not just yet. This is from May 17th through the 22nd. And looking at 500 millibar geopotential height anomalies, that's the map you guys have been looking at. Shows generally more of a zone of flow type of pattern, maybe a little bit ridging across maybe the southeast and maybe parts of the west out there. But if we look into precipitation anomalies here, this kind of gives you a better idea where the more active stuff kind of occurs. And this is from May 14th through the 21st. And you can see here a little bit better concentration of above normal precipitation from Missouri down towards North Texas. Those areas do not need any more rain. Some of those areas have picked up a tremendous amount of rain over the last couple weeks, well into the double digits. Those areas do not need any more rain. Areas that really do need rain would be up here. Those areas have been experiencing drought, and unfortunately, by the look at this upcoming summer, it doesn't look any better for those areas. So hopefully those areas up there can get some rain. But for us in Kentucky, I think precipitation may turn out to be near normal. I do think there will be a pretty decent dry period as we kind of go throughout mid-May, but I think precipitation may try to go above normal as we try to get towards late May. You can see here by the European ensembles we're a little bit drier through mid-May, but as we get closer to the later end of the month, those below normal anomalies go down, and we kind of trend towards more near normal. And here's the climate prediction outlook. This is day 6 through 10, or May 13th through the 17th. The graphic on the left is the probability for temperatures, and pretty solid probability that temperatures are going to be above normal. And you also have below normal temperatures in the western U.S., so there's likely going to be some severe weather across Tornado Alley during this time frame, and that correlates pretty well with the precipitation outlook. But for us in Kentucky, maybe near normal, maybe except for far eastern Kentucky. And that's maybe where we get maybe some dry time in there. But as you look towards days 8 for 14 or May 15th for the 21st, those above normal precipitation anomalies move a little bit farther to the east. And I think that by this point, the pattern tries to become a little more zonal. We'll see if that happens or not. But if it does become more zonal flow, I think we can get some better rain chances in there. So, but we do need these rain chances through May. We do. Because we don't want to trend too dry this upcoming summer. If you stay dry in May, you're going to stay dry all the way into the fall. That's just how it goes around here in Kentucky. So with all these rain chances coming up, I'm not too concerned about drought this upcoming summer. Usually, as we kind of go throughout May, you kind of get a good idea if drought's going to be bad or not. But right now, we may be in pretty decent shape this upcoming summer. Right now, we're doing good with rain. Hopefully, it stays that way for the rest of the month. Because especially for areas off to our northwest, could be very dry up there, and that could easily get expanded a little bit farther to the east if we end up trending drier, especially later this month as well. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see as we get closer. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, like this video, hit that like button. If you really like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys get any questions, put in the comment section down below. I'll answer you guys' questions. I see you guys in the next video. Goodbye and have a good day.